Jason was so surprised, he answered without thinking. Frankly, he didn't know whether to ask which of his brothers had put her up to this, or simply to laugh outright. He couldn't very well claim he'd never been propositioned before, but this was by far the most original instance he'd encountered in 30-odd years. "She's not ugly or anything." I'm not sure what to tell you." The girl was staring at him so candidly, so forthrightly, Jason realized within seconds it was no joke. "I don't think my mother's happy." Jason leaned against the side of his oak desk and crossed his arms. "Why would you assume my taking her out will make a difference?" "I don't know. I'm just hoping. You see, my mom and dad got divorced when I was little. I don't remember my dad, and apparently he doesn't remember me either, because I've never heard from him. Mom doesn't say much about what went wrong, but it must have been bad because she never dates. I didn't care about that before, only now—" "Only now what?" Jason asked when she hesitated. "I want to start dating myself, and my mother's going totally weird on me. She says I'm too young. Boy, is she out of it. I'm not allowed to date until I'm 16. Can you imagine anything so ridiculous?" Jason wasn't interested in getting involved in a mother-daughter squabble. "Not being a father myself, I can't really say." "The 9th grade dance is coming up in a few weeks, and I want to go." "Your mother won't allow you to attend the dance?" That sounded a bit harsh to Jason, but as he'd just stated, he wasn't in a position to know. "Oh, she'll let me go, except she intends to drop me off and pick me up when the dance is over." "And that's unacceptable?" "Of course it is. It's the most awful thing she could do to me. I'd be mortified to have my mother waiting in the school parking lot to take me home after the dance. I'd be humiliated in front of my friends. You've just got to help me." A note of desperation raised her voice on the last few words. "I don't understand what you want me to do," Jason hedged. He couldn't see any connection between Carrie's attending the all-important 9th grade dance and him whining and dining her mother. "You need me to spell it out for you?" Carrie's eyes were wide, her gaze scanning the room. "I'm offering you serious money to seduce my mother." For a wild instant, Jason thought he hadn't heard her right. "Seduce her?" "My mother's practically a virgin all over again. She needs a man." "You're sure about this?" Jason was having a hard time keeping a straight face. He could hardly wait to tell his brother Rich. The two of them would have a good laugh over it. "Absolutely positive." Carrie didn't even flinch. Her expression grew more confident. "Mom's forgotten what it's like to be in love. All she thinks about is work. Don't get me wrong, my mother's an awesome person, but she's so prim and proper and stubborn. What she really needs is, well, you know." Jason felt sorry for the kid, but he didn't see how he could help her. Now that he thought about it, he did recall what Charlotte Weston looked like. In fact, he could remember the day she'd moved in. She'd seemed feminine and attractive, more than a little intriguing. But he'd noticed a guardedness, too, that sent an unmistakable signal. He'd walked away with the impression that she was as straight-laced as a nun and about as warm and inviting as an Alaskan winter. Why me? Jason was curious enough to wonder why Carrie had sought him out. Apparently, his charisma was more alluring than he'd realized. "Well, just because. That's all," Carrie answered with perfect teenage logic. "And I figured I wouldn't have to pay you as much as I would one of those dating services. You seem nice." She gnawed on her lower lip. "Being a veterinarian is good, too." "How's that?" "You've probably had lots of experience soothing injured animals, and I think my mother's going to need some of that. Comforting and reassuring, you know?" The girl's voice became fervent. "She's been hurt. She doesn't talk about it, but she loved my father, and I think she must be afraid of falling in love again. I even think she might like another baby someday." This last bit of information was clearly an afterthought. Carrie cast him a speculative glance to be sure she hadn't said something she shouldn't have. "Don't worry about that. She's probably too old anyway," she added quickly. "She wants a baby?" Jason could feel the hair on the back of his neck rising. This woman-child was leading him toward quicksand, and he was going to put a stop to it right now.